Hi guys, my name is Robin and today I am doing the Do I Have That Book challenge. So I haven't done a tag or challenge video as yet and thought that this one would be a good place to start because I have a lot of books, so I think that I'll probably be able to fit all of the 20 prompts for this challenge. So I'm gonna try and do this as a challenge, like an actual challenge, and see how quickly I can get it done. I have my sibling to give me the questions so that it cuts down on a bit of time, but we'll see how it goes. So as I'm doing it as a challenge, I'll do it real quickly to show you the book, and then afterwards we'll go through all of the answers that I gave. Alright, so time starts now.
Do you have a book with deckled edges?
Is this one? See, look. My Plain Jane by 3 people.
Do you have a book with 3 or more people on the cover?
Somewhere. That's 2 people. This one. The Golden Tower, 3 people.
Do you have a book based on another fictional story?
This one. Cinder.
Do you have a book with a title 10 letters long?
10 letters long. 8. Nope. Nope. 10 letters long. 11. Nope. 9. Why can't I find one? Nope. 1, 2, 3. 9. Why are they all 9? Why are they all 9 number?
I don't know. To make your life harder?
10.
Yay.
Disruption.
Do you have a book with a title that starts and ends with the same letter?
I know the darkest part of the forest.
Do you have a mass market paperback book?
I only have one in this room. And that is Late Eclipses.
Do you have a book written by an author using a pen name?
Yes. Feed.
Do you have a book with the character's name in the title?
Do I? Do I? The Harry Potter ones aren't in here and I don't really want to use them.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we do have one. Okay, which one's this? Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
Do you have a book with 2 maps in it?
This one has 2. If I remember. Oh. 2 maps. Which one would have 2 maps? I feel like The Martian has 2 maps. This one. 1 map. Which one has 2 maps? This is Artemis. I feel like Artemis would have 2. Cyclops. Yeah, that counts as more than maps. Yeah, this one. Maps. Artemis. Next.
Do you have a book that was turned into a TV show?
City of Bonds.
Do you have a book written by someone who was originally famous for something else?
Probably not. I don't have any biographies. I don't know. That's fine, I'll skip this one.
Okay.
I don't think I have any.
Do you have a book with a clock on the cover?
Probably. A Night Circus? No. What else has clocks? Yeah, I'm pretty sure none of them have clocks. Let's just say Nabro. Next.
Do you have a poetry book?
No.
Do you have a book with an award stamp on it?
Yes. Yes. I think Illuminating has one on it. Yes. Illuminate.
Do you have a book written by an author with the same initials as you?
No. I know that one already.
Do you have a book of short stories?
The Language of Thorns.
Do you have a book that is between 500 and 510 pages long?
510. Just look for bigger books. No, that's way over. You can't double up. That's over 510. Hold on. $510. Skyward.
Do you have a book that was turned into a movie?
Yes. I won't use... I can't use that one again. Where is... Oh, right. The Hunger Games.
Do you have a graphic novel?
Many. I'll just pick... Saga.
Do you have a book written by 2 or more authors?
Also many. I'll just I'll do Obsidio again. This is your book. I won't be able to talk about it because I don't know what the hell it's about.
The Gates.
Right, I know. I've got. What's this one? The Fractured Light.
The end.
The end? Okay.
The end.
15 minutes. Alright, so for the first question, a book with deckled edges, I picked My Plain Jane. This was one of the Owl Crate exclusive ones, and it's got, you know, deckled edges. I actually don't like deckled edges because it makes it hard to turn the page. Like, you end up turning 5 pages instead of 1. I actually haven't read this book either. I have another book with deckled edges, but I can't think of what it is right now. This one counts anyway. This is by Cynthia Hand, Brodie Ashton, and Jodie Meadows. These are kind of quirked up historical fictions, and they're meant to be really good. I have my Lady Jane as well, and then My Plain Jane, but I haven't read them, and I still need to. So for the question of do you have a book with 3 or more people on the cover, I have The Golden Tale by Holly Black and Cassandra Clare, and there are 3 people on the front. I actually finished this book this month as well. Really enjoyed it, although I gave it 3.5 stars. This is the 5th book in the Magisterium series. It's a middle grade fantasy series. It is rather good. Would recommend for younger readers as well. I started reading this a long time ago, and mainly because they were my sister's books, and then just continued on because they were quick and easy reads. The next one was a book based on another fictional story, and for that one I chose Cinder by Marissa Meyer. This is part of the Lunar Chronicles series, and they're all sci-fi fairy tale retellings. So this one is Cinderella based. The other ones are Red Riding Hood, Rapunzel and Snow White. And they're all excellent. I think I gave them all 4 or 5 stars. But yeah, it is a retelling. So the next one is, do you have a book with a title 10 letters long? And this one actually took me quite a while, but I got to Disruption by Jessica Shervington. This is the second book in a duology. It's dystopian. I haven't read it. I've owned it for a long time but still haven't gotten to it yet. I didn't want to pick Six of Crows because everyone picks Six of Crows because it's just the easiest one. But then I had to count forever and none of them were 10. A lot of them were 9, interestingly enough. But this one counts. And the story starts from there. The next one was, do you have a mass market paperback book? And in this room I only have the one, and that is Late Eclipses by Shauna Maguire. In the other room on my other bookshelf I have a ton because the whole top shelf really is mass market paperbacks. But this is the only one in here, so this is the one I chose. This is the, I think, 4th book in the October Day series. It's one of the early ones. And I love the October Day series. I give them all 4 or 5 stars. I'm up to number 12 now. But these are absolutely fantastic. They're paranormal crime novels. So October Day is our main character and she is a PI for the like fae realm as well, or I don't know, fantasy realm. I don't know if it's particularly fae. But it is fantastic if you enjoy paranormal crime, or if you just enjoy crime novels and fantasy novels, combine them into this book. Alright, the next one is, do you have a book written by an author using a pen name? And the only one I think I have actually is Mira Grant, as this is Feed. I have a couple of her other books, but this was just the first one. This also might be considered mass market paperback, although it's a bit tall, but it's still skinny. This is a zombie, horror, sci-fi kind of book. Also haven't read this yet, also really want to read this because I love Shauna Maguire's writing. So Shauna Maguire is Mira Grant, if I didn't already say. And her books are fantastic. I think she's my most read author and I love her books. So I need to get onto this one. So the next one is, do you have a book with the character's name in the title? And the only one I could think of off the top of my head was Harry Potter. So this is Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, obviously by J.K. Rowling. I didn't really want to pick this one, but I can't think of any others, so this is what we have. I actually haven't read any of the Harry Potter books. I've watched the movies, never read the books. I intended to when they came out with the yellow ones. I have the bright yellow one on the other shelf for the first book. And I was going to read them, but then decided not to. I might still read them potentially. I just don't really know if they're going to be for me or if I want to get involved with the controversy, so who knows. The next question was, do you have a book with 2 maps in it? And that one was really hard as well. But I finally chose Artemis by Andy Weir. So a lot of them actually just have the 1 map, which kind of makes sense. But this one has a couple, so there's like 4 maps there. This is also an absolutely excellent book. I gave it 5 stars. It's a sci-fi set on the moon. So it's when people have colonized the moon, but there is no set government. So it's really an outlaw kind of settlement on the moon. It's great. I loved it. It's not as science heavy as The Martian by Andy Weir. It's actually really accessible and I really, really enjoyed it. I would recommend this book for people getting into sci-fi because it's a lot easier to read than some of the harder stuff. But if you haven't read it, maybe give it a try. So the next question was a book that has been turned into a TV show, and for that I chose The City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. I haven't watched the TV show, it's The More Lynchmans. I watched the movie, the movie was not good. And then when the TV show started, I don't know, it didn't really interest me. Maybe it should. Maybe I would enjoy it because I do really enjoy the books. I actually do plan on doing a reread of these at some point because I own a lot of the other books in the series. So I have Lady Midnight, all the new ones at the top, but I haven't read them. But I don't really remember a lot of what happens in the last maybe 3 books of the series. So this one has the 3 beginning books and then 3 others. So I might reread them, and if I do, maybe I'll watch the show. But we'll see. If you don't know what this series is about, then I don't know how you've missed it. But this series follows shadow hunters, which are kind of like they hunt demons within the human world. It is excellent. Would highly recommend. The next one was a book that was written by someone who was originally famous for something else. And I don't think I have any books like that because all the books that I have are just by book writers, you know, they're just authors. They didn't do anything to be famous for before their books that I know of. So I don't have one for this. The next question as well, a book with a clock on the cover. I don't have either. I'm pretty sure I've looked through a lot of my books. I can't find one. The one that I thought would have one was The Night Circus, but my edition doesn't have a clock on the cover. Which is really unfortunate because it's a part of the story, so I thought it would be on there, but it's not. So I also don't have one for that. The next one as well, I'm just doing bad for the last 3, is a poetry book. I don't have any books of poetry at all. I haven't read a book of poetry, I don't think. Which, maybe I'm just uncultured. Maybe I should buy some poetry books. The next question was a book with an award stamp, and I think I have a lot that would fit it, but Illuminae was the first one that came to mind, by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I love this series. This is the series that got me into sci-fi. And actually I was planning on doing a reread of it this month because I've just been feeling like rereading it for a long time. I think I first read it maybe 3 years ago. But it's been a long time and it's one of my favourite books of all time, so I probably should give it a reread. I also got it signed by the authors at an event like 2 years ago. But this series is fantastic. So it's the Illuminae Files series, has 3 books. This first book follows Katie and Ezra as they are fleeing from their home on this planet that is, I think they're mining a particular type of ore and it's an illegal mining colony. And then another corporation comes in and tries to take over, and they have to abandon their planet on 2 ships. It starts from there and it's great and I love it, so I will be rereading it soon. The next one is, do you have a book with an author with the same initials as you? Which I 100% know I don't have. So my initials are RJ and it's hard to find any. I do have some other Robins, so I have Robin Lefevre's and Robin Hobb, but that doesn't fit. I don't have any others unfortunately, so I can't fill this one. The next question is, do you have a book of short stories? For this one I picked Language of Thorns by Leigh Bardugo. So these are short stories within the Grishaverse. So I have read the Grisha series and the Six of Crows series by Leigh Bardugo. Absolutely loved them. I loved the Grisha series actually better than Six of Crows. But this book I gave 5 stars as well. They're kind of prequel stories, so they're fairy tales that are within this world. And they are fantastic. They are so beautifully written that it really puts you in this like fairy tale world, getting told a story. And the art is really beautiful as well. So we have like particular stories. They start off with the art small, and then as you get to the end of the story it grows until you have the large picture at the end of the story, and they are beautiful. This was also a Fairy Loot exclusive one, so it's red instead of orange, I think. And also the hard cover with no dust jacket. But yeah, love this one. The next question was a book between 500 and 510 pages, and this one was so hard, but I do have Skyward by Brandon Sanderson, which is 510, so just on the high end. I'm sure I do have a lot of books that are around 500 pages, but for some reason they were all coming up as like 498, like just on the line of being under. But this is a science fiction book by Brandon Sanderson. I think it's his first. I am meant to be reading this month as well, but I haven't started it yet, unfortunately. I need to get onto it. But I don't know a hell of a lot about this book, other than there is a war between, I think it's different planets, and there are spaceships, and it's Brandon Sanderson, so I will read it. So the next question was a book that was turned into a movie, and for that one I picked The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins, which I think would be the best option for it, because I think that the Hunger Games series was the best adapted book to movie series that there has ever been, I think, in my opinion. I love the movies and I also love the books. I actually read the books when the movie came out. When the first movie came out, I picked up the first book and then read through the rest of them straight away. I love these books, I love the movies. I do a rewatch of the movies at least once or twice a year because I love them that much. But if you haven't watched the movies, I would recommend it because they are done incredibly well, in my opinion. I might do a reread of this when I read The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, potentially, but we'll see how that goes. The next one is, do you have a book that starts with the same letter as it ends with? And for that one I have The Darkest Part of the Forest by Holly Black. So it starts with T, ends with T. This one was total fluke. I just turned around and it's just there, which is great. But this is also an excellent book. I gave it 5 stars. This is another one of Holly Black's Fae stories. So all of her, so the Tide series, this one, and The Cruel Prince are all interwoven. But they follow different aspects of the Fae realms. This one, excellent. It's a standalone as well, which is great. You get through it quickly. I don't remember too much about it. I remember there's knights and Fae, obviously. Oh, and there is a Fae trapped under a glass coffin and he wakes up. So the next one was, do you have a graphic novel? I have a lot of graphic novels, but for this one I chose Saga Volume 1. This is a space opera which follows Makro and Alana, who have a mixed race baby. So in this world, the two races, one of them lives on the planet and the other one lives on the orbiting moon, and they have been in a war for, I think it's hundreds of years at this point. And everyone basically wants to kill them because they get along, they're in love, and they want to continue the war effort and not have someone that will potentially end that. I absolutely love this graphic novel series. I've given them all 5 stars. I am eagerly anticipating the next one because the writers have given it a bit of a break for a while. It's been about a year since we've had the last one. But I am waiting for the next one because I love the series so much. Okay, and the last question was, do you have a book written by 2 or more authors? And I have a lot of books that are written by 2 or more authors, but this was the first one that I saw, which is Their Fractured Light by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. I also haven't read this series. I did read their Unearthed series last year, 2 years ago, but I haven't gotten around to reading this one just yet. I do love Megan Spooner's books as well. I have Hunted, which is here, that I absolutely loved and gave 5 stars. I do think that I'm really going to enjoy this series because it is sci-fi as well as romance, but I will just have to set aside some time to read the series. I also have it signed as well, but only by Amy Kaufman. Megan Spooner wasn't at that event. So, I did really bad. So I didn't get 4 of the questions, and it took me 15 minutes, which I think is terrible. That is probably the worst attempt that anyone has ever had at this challenge. But I hope you guys have enjoyed watching me struggle to find the books. I might cut out some of the struggling time because it was 15 minutes. So I don't know if you want to watch me struggle for 15 minutes. Maybe you would, maybe you'd enjoy that. But I think I'll cut it down a bit. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.